Hey guys, what's up? This is Alish and welcome to the Refrag Academy. I'm going to be going over T-side defaults with you on Anubis, and let's get straight into it. So for Anubis on T-side, I would say your standard default that you can run in pugs and everything is going to be one guy towards B, two guys towards middle, and then you're going to have one guy that's going to be working the canals area and one guy that's kind of outside A that's also able to help the canals guy. So let's just start from the guy at B, and usually most of these rounds, you're going to want to condition this Molotov. It's not as powerful as it was in CSGO where you can peek behind the Molotov flames and it's harder for the CTs to see you, but it's still good to do because it does obscure the vision just a little bit, and it also prevents the CTs from doing any early flash plays where, you know, one or two guys is coming up and they're just doing like an early flash towards B main. So you're completely getting rid of those types of options when you do that. So again, B guy, usually you're gonna want a molly. You can throw a flash as you're running, and if you have multiple people coming with you, or even if you want to go for some peeks by yourself, you can do that, or you can bring, you know, one or two other players that are with you. But in general, you're gonna be the guy that, if you're not doing any peeks, you're going to be helping with the split later on towards B, or you can go for like big flanks or go towards mid later on if you're doing like a split. And then after that, we're gonna have our two guys at middle. So this can usually be like your IGL or Opper or another one of your vocal riflers, and you're pretty much just gonna be dictating the pace as the rifler here, how you want to take it. So in general, you're gonna want to be throwing a pre-flash here, and the reason why you want to be doing a pre-flash is because the CT spawns are always going to beat you here. So if the Opper of the CT side comes window and you don't smoke window for that round, he has free information until you flash him off here. And the same goes for if he peeks from this side. Until you flash that Opper off, he has a lot of information. So you're going to see a lot of top teams, they're going to be throwing a flash just so they get rid of that information. And then after that, in general, you're going to want to be throwing this window smoke. So you can just come to the grass here, and where this shadow is, just a middle click W jump throw, and that's going to put the smoke really into the window here. And you have to be careful, especially because some of these smokes you can jump over, this one you can't. And the Molotov you're going to be using a lot is just coming up to this box here and aiming in the corner of this window, and that's going to be getting all of this area on the right. And they're always pretty much going to be able to play here or here. The main things that you want to make sure that they're not at is at this corner and at this door. And obviously you can do some fun things where you can either double nade this guy, or, you know, if you throw that molly and you get close, you can have, you know, two riflers come up here and have your third player throw a flash to the left. And if he is playing on any of these positions, he's going to be getting blind. So I would say that's like your standard nade set that you're going to be throwing for a lot of the time as the mid players, whether you're the Opper or the second rifler or the main rifler. These are the nades that are going to get you through mid control here at bridge. And then moving on to these two players over here towards A, you're going to have the canals defaulter and the A lurker that's going to be either playing in this hallway here or anywhere pretty much in this area. This canal position is very, very difficult. In general, you're going to be able to cross towards like these sides without dying before this guy peeks you. You're going to deal with a lot of crazy stuff. People have flashes where they're just going to flash through the gap and they're going to double peek towards E-box, which is going to make it difficult. So a lot of teams, this is something that you can also use in your games, is you can throw this smoke. You just get into this corner here, aim at the bottom of the rectangle and W jump throw. And this is going to be very useful for you because if you don't have a good spawn, or maybe things have just been going bad, you want to get rid of this vision for them so they can't just peek you for free. And what this also allows you to do, especially if you get someone else to throw it for you, is you can come up into the canals here, and now you can get close. Now you can actually put pressure when you want to go B, and they don't know exactly when they should be doing, you know, X, Y, or Z. A lot of times players are just going to re-smoke that smoke for you, but if you don't have this smoke, then you're pretty much just relying on somebody like holding with an op for you. So either you need that smoke or you need someone that's holding so you don't die just running forward, because the whole risk of when you're running forward like this is you're pressing W, and if somebody is just going to wide swing you like this, they're going to have the advantage on you, so it's pretty tough. And after that, the canals player usually can just throw a molly off of the wall like this, and you're going to get the whole right side. When you are doing a B split, this is what's going to be getting the CT players out of E-box. And now moving on to this player, usually you can play pretty much in tandem with the canals player. There's a lot of different things that can be happening, but your main goal is to make sure that no peaks are happening towards A main where your canals player can die, because if he's focusing here, he doesn't want to just die in the back. So it's kind of difficult without having somebody do any type of utility for you. So your canals player can actually do some flashes for you. So like, let's just just say that, you know, he throws like the smoke that we just talked about before. He throws that smoke, and while he's waiting for it, if you're in a pug or whatever, your Halls player just comes to the very end here. They walk, they come down. You can just shift off of this, by the way. He asked for a flash from his teammate here. Just throw something like this, which is fine. And he can just clear this initial area here. And after that, you don't really want to go too much further because the CTs can actually see a decent amount, and it's pretty common for operas to be opping right here. And you can see that's pretty close to when you're coming in. So you're going to need extra utility to be able to come in here. Usually what a lot of players, they'll have specific nade sets for smoking into A main. So they'll smoke A main, and then they'll just molly off of the box here, because this is a very common setup that CTs will do. So as a T, a lot of times people want to throw like this utility here, where you can make sure that you're not just going to die to someone fountain. But in CS2, the smokes are a little bit lower, so the smoke is going to have to be very specific, and you can check out the utility hub for some good smokes on how to take A main. But in general, that's kind of your goal. Your goal is to make sure that your canal player does not die. You're holding the side of the map, pretty similar to the B player over here. Your goal is to just make sure that nobody is pushing in this position, and you're going to be punishing them. And of course, you're going to have times where you're going to be pushing and peeking with your teammates and taking that space, but in general, this is kind of like your role. And you can have a lot of different micros here. Like you could, instead of doing smoke molly, you can, you know, have that initial flash, someone's with you, and then as soon as you clear this first part here, you have a teammate flashing for one or two of you guys, and if there is an upper here, is going to get blind, and you can actually take this space. That is everything for the basic version of the T-side defaults on Anubis. If you want to know more about your particular spot, make sure you check out the advanced version of the defaults so you can see all like the little micros and extra stuff for your spot on the T-side defaults. Thanks for watching.